Here's a risk assessment I prepared for using a router. And these are the specifications I was given for this job. It's a double thickness shelf made from 2 bits of MDF. There's plenty of materials available for this job. I tidy my bench in preparation while I wait for my components to be cut on the beam saw. Once I first get them, I measure them to check their correct sizes to the drawing. One has come off the saw 2mm over in length. I screw a block to the bench to push them against to ensure they're flush when I fix them together. Once fixed, I make sure the rest of the edges are flush other than where it's been incorrectly cut. I mark up the top and bottom and which edge needs pushing back. I retrieve the router from the secure lockbox it's stored in and check there's no visible damage to the machine or to the lead. I put on my gloves and then go and get the cutter from the cupboard where it's stored. I insert the router cutter into the collet and secure it tightly. The cutter I selected has a wheel at the bottom, so less of the cutting edge would have to be exposed during the process. Then I use a ruler to measure the depth I need and lock it off with the handle on the side. I also set a depth stop to ensure it doesn't go past this point. I do a final check of the lead before putting on my PPE. First, I clamp down a scrap piece of MDF, the same thickness, to ensure that the router is set up correctly. I attach the extraction, then plug it in the router. The test cut was correct, so I clamped down my workpiece. There were people working in a close proximity, so I isolate the machine and let them finish to avoid accidents. I complete the cut, then measure to ensure it matches the drawing and isolate the machine. I put my gloves back on as I'll be handling the sharp cutter. I remove the cutter from the router and reset the depth stop. I then pack it securely back into its box, returning it to the locker and the cutter to the cupboard.